Hey, welcome to Unleash Your Tennis. In today's lesson, I'm going to answer a question from a fellow subscriber. Alright, his question is about how to increase his topspin of his forehand. Alright, so he mentioned that he's hitting from low to high, but he's still hitting flat. Alright, and he wants to know how to increase the topspin of his tennis forehand. Alright, so without further ado, let's dive into today's lesson. Now, let me first talk about topspin. Alright, now what is topspin? Now, basically, topspin is about the forward rotation of the ball. Alright, spinning forward this way, and that's why we call it topspin. Alright, if the ball is spinning the other way, spinning back, then we call this the underspin. Alright, and in tennis, why is topspin important is that you can see that the court is pretty long. Alright, if we want to hit the ball over the net and keep it within the opponent's court, we need to impart some spin on it so that the ball can cross the net and lands onto the opponent's court. So that's why topspin is crucial when you want to hit with more power, alright, so that the ball can dip down into the opponent's court. Alright, so regarding a subscriber's question, alright, he asked how to increase topspin. Alright, there are several tips that I want to share. Okay, number one, you have to make sure that the grip is correct. Alright, now if you are using the continental grip, it is very difficult for you to generate topspin. So you have to use either the Eastern forehand or the semi-Western or even the Western grip. Alright, so do check your grip, make sure you are not using the continental grip for your forehand. And the next thing is to check that whether you're holding the grip correctly. I always emphasize the grip, how to hold the racket this way with the index finger spread out. Alright, the index finger is like pulling the trigger of a gun. Alright, so it's spread out this way. This is for better control of the racket. Now the next tip I want to share is, I want you to know that when you contact the ball, if you want to impart topspin, you have to make sure that the racket drops below the contact point. Alright, so that you can impart topspin. Alright, you find the bottom of the ball and then you drive the ball, alright, with topspin. Alright, so make sure that the racket drops below the contact point so that when you swing forward, alright, you're able to rush the ball over. Alright, so that's tip number two. Make sure that the racket drops below the contact point. The third tip I want to share with you is your racket face, right, when you do the backswing. Okay, now this may help some players. Alright, when you pull back the racket, I want you to check that the racket face is closed when the racket is behind you. Alright, so that when you turn the hip, the racket face is able to open up and then you're able to impart topspin to the ball. Sometimes players tend to do this. Alright, the racket is facing the side fence. Alright, if you look at from this angle, some players are doing this. Alright, and if you go in this horizontal manner, you are actually sweeping the ball. Alright, and it's very difficult to impart spin on it. Alright, you are basically slapping the ball. Alright, and the ball is going to sail long. Alright, so check that your backswing, alright, the palm is actually pointing downwards, the racket face is closed at this stage. Alright, when you turn the hip, the racket is going to open up and then you're able to impart spin on the shot. Okay, so the next tip is go for a higher net clearance. Alright, one, you can have a better margin of safety. Number two, you can hit deeper to the court so that the opponent can't attack you. So go for a higher net clearance. Alright, and with all these tips, you can definitely improve the topspin of your forehand. The next tip to improve your topspin is to understand the swing path of your racket when you contact the ball. Alright, now, if you are doing a shallow contact, you find that the ball, you can generate topspin, but the ball is not traveling deep. Alright, so the actual swing path is actually from here, as I lay down on the court, Alright, there's this horizontal swing path. That's where you contact the ball. Alright, there's a horizontal movement. And you find that when I reach here, I can't really go on anymore. I have to bring the racket up to the opposite shoulder. Alright, so the swing path will be such that you have to hit through, alright, this horizontal path, followed by the upward path, okay, to create an upward angle, so that the ball can you can create spin on the ball, and the ball can go deeper to the court. Alright, so take note of this tip, understand the swing path, horizontal to the upward movement. I hope you find today's lesson useful and applicable to your tennis game. At this point in time, I want to ask you one question. What is the #1 challenge that you are facing in your tennis forehand right now? I want you to comment below so that I can help you. Alright, so that's all from me today. I'll see you in the next lesson.